Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing my top 10 favourite palettes of all time. I love palettes. I'm doing specifically eyeshadow palettes, but yeah. I have done the perfect palette tag on my channel before, kind of when I was just starting out. And a lot of my views have changed. I have new favourites. I have palettes that kind of I don't use as much anymore. So I just wanted to go through my kind of top 10 favourite palettes of all time that I am obsessed with. You do want to see another perfect palette tag, like an updated one, please do let me know, because I would love to do that. I'm kind of thinking about doing it already, but yeah, let me know if you want that. So I'm just going to get started, but they're not in any particular order except for my absolute favourite, which I will talk about first. I am cheating quite a lot with my first, but I'm going off formula, and that's the Kat Von D formula. So I have quite a few of her palettes. My favourite is probably the Metal Matte. I am obsessed with this palette. I will show you what it looks like. It's absolutely massive, but yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. There's just such a nice range of shades in here, and it's just so versatile, and I do like to play around with these types of colours, so it's just perfect for me. I also have the Shade and Light Eye, which is the matte one. Pretty standard basic mattes, but absolutely incredible. I also have the glimmer one, the glimmer version, which looks like this. You can see my floor. So this is basically just the Shade and Light, but like a shimmer eyeshadow version, which is cool. I have the Shade and Light quads, which I love. These are just like mini versions of colours that you don't get in the main Shade and Light. Let me open it. I have them all. So I have Rust, which is the orangey one. I have Smoke, which is the smoky one, obviously. Plum, which is plum shades. This one is like so nice. I really like this one. And my favourite is Sage. I didn't think I'd get as much use out of this one as I actually have, but I absolutely love green on my eyes. I like green on my lips apparently today, but yeah. And the newest recruit is the Saint and Sinner palette. This is absolutely gorgeous. Like, the packaging is A+, and the shades are just gorgeous. So yeah. Wrong way. So I've put Kat Von D shadows first, just because of the formula. The formula is A+. They blend like an absolute dream. The pigmentation is there. They're very pigmented, but they're not too pigmented that you can't work with them easily. Like, they blend out so nicely, and they're just so quick and easy to work with, and you can just get absolutely incredible looks with them. So that's why Kat Von D is my front runner in terms of eyeshadows, just because of how gorgeous they are. So yeah, definitely check them out. This was limited edition, so you can't get this anymore. I actually got this from Depop just because I missed it when it first came out. I was absolutely gutted. So yeah, this is limited edition. This is out now. This is the newest one. I don't know if this is limited edition. The Shade and Light palettes, I think, are all year round. So yeah, you don't need to worry about them. Next on my list is the Makeup Revolution and Soph palette. This is pretty new, but this has 100% stolen my heart. It's just so pretty. It looks like this. I've shown it on my channel before. The reason I absolutely love this palette is just because of how many shades there are. You know, there's like 24 shades. And there's just so much you can do with it. Like, it's so versatile, especially for me, because I'm quite fair, so I can pretty much get away with every single colour in here. Whereas there's some shades for darker skin tones, medium skin tones. Like, there's something for everybody. And they also love the pops of colour, like the neutral shimmers, the reds. Just, it has everything in that I like and gravitate towards. And I just really like it. In terms of Makeup Revolution formula, this is probably the best Makeup Revolution formula that I've tried. I don't know, it just seems different this time around. It just seems better and more pigmented and easier to blend. Not that I have an issue with Makeup Revolution shadows anyway, because I absolutely love their formula. It's so good. But this just seems better. I don't know what it is, it just seems more stepped up. So yeah, I absolutely love this palette. Definitely check this palette out if you want a good drugstore option. This is £10, it's an absolute bargain, so yeah, definitely check this out. I love it so much. So yeah, and I love soap. So next in the list is Jeffree Star's Androgyny palette. I have Beauty Killer as well, but I prefer this one, and it looks like this. As you know, well, if you're new here you probably don't know, but if you're not new here then you should know, I am a massive fan of Jeffree Star cosmetics. I just think they are so good. His liquid lips are my absolute jam. I'm wearing one of his liquid lips today and I love them. But this eyeshadow palette is so nice. It just has so many nice shades in. Like, the shade Safe Word is the most perfect transition colour. I love Military for the khaki. I love Androgyny, Fetish, like so many gorgeous colours. And when this was kind of teased, I was like, do I buy it, do I not buy it? I don't know if I get that much wear out of it, blah blah blah. And then a couple of days before I decided, yeah, I'm going to buy it, I'm going to give it a try. I have used this quite a lot. It doesn't look like I have, but I have. This was like my go-to palette for so long. But yeah, I have actually got a lot of use out of this. The only colours that I don't really get use out of are these two at the bottom, the two blues, but the rest of them I absolutely love using. So yeah, nice big pan sizes, you know, quite big. So yeah, I really like this. And this is £41 I think, which is quite pricey, but it's a really good formula. It blends really easily, it's pigmented, and they're just so easy to work with, so I do like this palette a lot. Next on the list is the Make Revolution Iconic Pro palettes. I'm kind of shoving these two together just because they come as a pair. So the Iconic Pro 1 and the Iconic Pro 2. I'll start with the 1, which looks like this. This is a dupe of the Lorac palette, the Lorac Pro palette. It's just full of warm tones. It's really nice, has all the shimmers on the bottom, all the mattes on the top. It's just a basic do-it-all palette. This is a really great everyday palette. It just has so much good variety, and again the eyeshadow formula on this is really nice. Really great for drugstore. I think this is like £6.99, so really cheap as well. And then the 2, same situation, it's just cool toned. Like this khaki shade is so nice. But yeah, I really like this one. I do prefer the 1 just because it's more warm toned, but that's just my personal taste. But yeah, if you want a really good basic drugstore eyeshadow palette that just works, and it's really I don't want to say cheap because that sounds bad, it's cost effective, then these are definitely such a good option because they just work. They're just really nice. Next on the list is the Makeup Obsession palette. These are custom palettes, so this one is mine. These are a Tan Beauty brand, but they are sold in Boots, so not Superdrug, which is really weird, but they're sold in Boots. And basically you pick your casing and then you pick the shadows that go inside. I have mine engraved. It says "Life's too short, buy the palette." Words I live by, you know, seeing as it's very fitting for this type of video. A ginormous mirror. I've picked the rose gold casing, but they do a silver in a large, a black and a white in a large. Then they have a gold in a medium. I think they have pink as well, black and white. So yeah, loads of cases to choose from. I actually have 4 of these palettes. I have 3 big ones and 1 medium one, because they do cheek products as well, but I haven't included that. And I've picked to show this one just because it's my favourite one. Looks like this. So pretty. I did have a khaki in here, but I moved it to one of my other palettes. I love that khaki. It was called Roxanne. These are the shades that I have picked. I wanted to get a really good variety in this palette, so I've picked some matte, some transition, a base colour, deepen, crease colour, nice shimmers to go on the lid, and a nice inner corner highlight. This is actually a highlight pan, but obviously it works just as well for eyeshadow. I do think that Tan Beauty have excelled themselves on this formula. It's so nice. It's very pigmented, again, blends like a dream. It's just so effortless and easy to work with. And also, if you only like one shade in the collection, because they're singles, just buy them. So they do come in their own casing, and then you just slot them into here. So they do have their own little cases, and they just pop it in and out like that. So yeah, if you do prefer singles, keep it as a single. You don't need to buy the palette, but I've got mine in a palette, so I thought I'd include it in this list. But I am obsessed with this palette. It's really great for travelling, because especially because I've got my others, I can kind of swap and change and take my favourites with me. Plus it's got a ginormous mirror, which makes it very, very handy for travelling. So yeah, Makeup Obsession is so good. The only thing is when you buy a palette all together, it does kind of come to the cost of a high-end palette. So they may seem cheap, like cost effective when you buy them, but it does add up to pretty much the price of a high-end palette. So this whole palette cost me about £35. That is including the engraving, so you know, it's still not bad, but yeah, just be aware of that. It's not entirely drugstore. Next on the list is the Naked palettes. I have chosen my two favourites. I have the 5 like core collection ones. I picked the Naked one and the Naked Heat just because they're the shades that I go to the most. So this one looks like this. Miracle that I've still got the brush in here. This is so pretty. It's just the perfect neutral palette. There is only 2 matte shades in this one, which is kind of a disappointment, but they're very much universal mattes that you can, oh, the brush fell out, that you can just work with, and they're just for everyday looks basically. So this is really great for just everyday makeup. Really nice. I'm not a fan of the velvet, but that's just me. And the Naked Heat is the newest one. Again, I've picked this one just for the shades. I love this kind of warm red orange shades. I'm not wearing them today, but I do normally love them. And yeah, it's just a really nice palette, and the Naked formula is just really nice. You do want to splash out on a high-end palette and a kind of mid-range price high-end palette, that is. Then probably the Naked palettes are for you, especially if you're a beginner, because they just have the basic shades, you know. They just have nice everyday shades that can easily go from day to night, that can easily be used in like parties or every day or just whatever. I just think they're very versatile, and the formula is really, really nice. So for everyday, definitely the Naked one. Next is the Makeup Revolution Neutrals versus Neutrals palette. This is so good, so good. It looks like this. This, I think, was kind of one of the first drugstore palettes, especially in the UK, to have these red tones in, because it kind of was ahead of its time a little bit. But yeah, this palette is so good. It is incredibly pigmented, and they just blend so nicely, but it's the pigment on this that just gets me. This is £6.99, and it's like it just works instantly. So pigmented, and they have just such a nice shade range in here. They have a few basic mattes, and then they have the red shades. These are all matte, which I really like. Incredible. It is the best drugstore red eyeshadow palette out there that I have tried. So good. And like I said, this is £6.99. £6.99. This was sold out for so long when it first came out because everyone wanted it. I know why. It's absolutely incredible. I'll get the last high-end palettes out of the way, putting these two together just to show kind of different shades. These are the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. I have the Prism palette, but I haven't used it yet, so it didn't feel right to put it in this video. So I have the Modern Renaissance and the Subculture. I'll start with the classic, the modern Ren. This is a much nicer velvet than the Naked palette. This is just so much softer. It feels more luxurious. It don't feel as scratchy. So that's this one. Again, it has those beautiful red tones in. The only thing about this palette that I don't like is the fact that there are only 2 shimmers in here. I do feel like they could have done with maybe 1 or 2 more just to add a little bit more variety. But other than that, it's perfect. I love it. It took me a while to get this, I must admit, because I was thinking, is it really worth it? Is it really as good as people are saying? But it's absolutely incredible. I just love working with these reddy, pinky, burnt orange colours. I just think they're really, really nice, and they just have the nicest like transition colours. Yeah, it's a really good palette. Definitely check it out. This is not for the faint-hearted. This is very, very pigmented. I definitely would not recommend this for beginners because of how pigmented it is. It takes quite a long time to blend it out, but once you do blend it out, it's gorgeous. It does blend a little bit easier than the Subculture, but I'll get onto that. Yeah, definitely not for beginners of how pigmented it is. If you do want the red shades that are in here, definitely go the neutrals versus neutrals, just because, yeah. And the Subculture is what I'm wearing on my eyes today. I love this palette. Out of the two, this is probably my favourite. I'm just going to take the brush out there. She's controversial, but I much prefer the tones in this one. I like those edgy kind of, I would say this is quite edgy. I love the mustard, the greens, the burgundy, you know, it's really nice. Again, there's only like 3 shimmer shades in here, which, whatever, but yeah. I prefer the Subculture. I know people had dud ones and they weren't good, but I haven't found that. Anastasia's formula is very powdery as it is, like the Modern Renaissance is. They're both really powdery and you will get fallout. But I haven't found this to be any worse than the Modern Renaissance really. Just as pigmented, and I find it blended really well. So yeah, maybe I just got a really good one, I don't know. But I don't get the kind of fuss about it not being very good, being a total flop, like, because I really like it. It's definitely my favourite out of the two. So yeah, the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes, definitely really good. Definitely check them out. I think they might have amended the formula of the Subculture, so if you are thinking of getting it but you heard all the dud reviews, which is fair enough, I think they have changed it. You might want to just research that a little bit, but I'm pretty sure they have. The next palette is the explicit content print palette from I Heart Makeup. This is a Makeup Revolution brand. This is actually my second one of these palettes, so that's why it looks like it hasn't even been dug into. But yeah, I have used this, but this is my second one because my first one broke, so I had to get another one. That's how much I love it. I actually went out and repurchased this again. It's just full of neutral shimmers. It has them autumn tones. Just ignore this end row because I don't like this end row. That's the only thing about this palette I don't like. The blues and stuff, but the rest of them are just so gorgeous. Neutrals, really pigmented. If you do want a really good neutral shimmer eyeshadow, this is definitely a good one. And I feel like this gets overlooked quite a lot. I don't really hear people talk about this palette, even though they should, because it's really good. So yeah, this is like $7 or $6.99. It's really cheap. It comes with a big mirror and I just really like it. Plus it... So yeah, definitely check this out. But yeah, and last but not least are the I Heart Makeup chocolate bar palettes. If you've been here for a while, you know that I am obsessed with these. I've just picked my favourite 3. I have the full collection. Well, there's the chocolate elixir palette, which I haven't got yet, but I'm planning on buying today. But yeah, I've just picked my favourite 3. My absolute favourite is the Naked Chocolate. I've picked the Chocolate Vice and the Golden Bar. This is just the perfect neutral palette. I am obsessed with the colours in this, especially this one. This colour is my absolute jam. It's like a brownie, well, it's a brown colour, but it has like this plum purple undertone in, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. But this is just such a nice shade range, and I feel like you can just do so many looks with it, and I just really like the Naked Chocolate. If this broke, I would 100% straight away buy a replacement of this one. Love it. Next is the Chocolate Vice, which looks like this. It's quite peachy, like this gold. Well, it's more of a copper. So good, so nice. So yeah, this is just, again, a really nice range. It has some peaches, shades, a nice kind of variety between mattes and shimmers, which I look for a lot in a palette. The last one is the Golden Bar, which is all shimmers, but they are gorgeous shimmer shades. I do tend to go for more palettes with a good range between mattes and shimmers, like a good mix. So that's why I prefer these ones. But yeah, the chocolate bar palettes, you can't lose with them. They are just perfect. I'm not going to stay too long on the chocolate bar palettes just because I've already done a full video on them and how much I love them, which is on my channel. So if I do forget to link it down below, just look back through my channel and you'll find it. I already love these. I'm not going to stay on them too long. Really great drugstore palette. Blend, pigmented, really easy to work with, smell like chocolate, packaging's beautiful. Hands down the best palettes on the drugstore. I'm just going to say it. That's a big claim, but I'm going to say it. And that wraps up this mammoth palette list. I do hope you enjoyed this video. Please do let me know down below what your favourite palettes are, because I would love to know. I'm always on the hunt for recommendations because I am an eyeshadow palette junkie. I am obsessed with buying them. I'm obsessed with using them. So do let me know what your favourites are down in the comments, because I really genuinely want to know. Give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe down below if you want to see more of me and my videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!